is because of this one white girl that just keeps flexing on all the black girls, man.
Yeah. White people love watching that.
Caitlin Clark.
College basketball, WNBA players and media have started to hate on college players. In particular, Iowa's
Caitlin Clark has taken the basketball world by storm, but with massive fame comes intense criticism. Rumours are swirling that many black WNBA players dislike Clark, but is that really the full story? As Clark dominates on the court with skill, passion, and record-breaking performances, some say jealousy and fear are fueling the backlash. Today, we'll dive deep into the real reasons behind this tension and show why Caitlin Clark is more than just a player. She's a game changer, challenging the status quo and earning respect every step of the way. The misunderstood genius, why Caitlin Clark draws fire. Caitlin Clark is easily one of the most electrifying players in women's basketball today. Her skill, court vision, and killer instinct make her a standout star. Yet, there's a narrative that she's hated by black WNBA players, but the truth is much more nuanced. Caitlin Clark represents a new face of women's basketball, a fearless sharpshooter who thrives in the spotlight. Some mistake her confidence for arrogance, but it's really a fierce competitive spirit driving her success. Often, what's called hate is actually jealousy or misunderstanding. Clark's rise challenges the traditional landscape of a sport historically dominated by black players. Her bold style of play and the intense media attention she commands sometimes make others uncomfortable. Yet this discomfort signals change. Clark is reshaping women's basketball and pushing the game into a new era. Instead of outright hate, many players actually respect Clark's talent deeply, even if they dislike the constant media circus following her every move. When a white player receives this level of attention, it highlights basketball culture's complex issues around race, style, and personality. It forces a conversation about who gets recognized and why. Caitlin Clark's presence disrupts old narratives and opens doors for all players to be celebrated purely for their skill, regardless of background. This should be applauded, not criticized. Clark's impact goes beyond just her on-court performance. She is helping to evolve the sport by broadening the definition of excellence and challenging how talent is viewed and covered. This evolution benefits women's basketball as a whole. Confidence or controversy, the real story behind Clark's persona. One of the main reasons Caitlin Clark draws so much attention is her unapologetic confidence. In a sport where humility is often expected, Clark breaks the mold by embracing her greatness loudly and proudly. Some mistake this for cockiness, but true greatness requires owning your talent fully. Black WNBA players who have spent years grinding might find it hard to relate to Clark's youthful bravado, but that doesn't mean they hate her. It means they experience the game and its challenges differently. Clark grew up in a very different basketball environment, and her journey reflects a new generation's approach to the sport. While many WNBA players value humility as a survival tool in a tough league, Clark's confidence is part of her competitive weaponry. She invites criticism because she refuses to play small or diminish herself to fit traditional expectations. Instead, she expands the mold, pushing the boundaries of what a women's basketball player can be. This boldness forces people to confront their own biases about race, confidence, and success. When you hear talk about black players hating Clark, it's less about personal animosity and more about a cultural clash between old school respect and new school swagger. Clark's presence challenges these ideas and invites a broader conversation about how different generations and backgrounds view confidence and achievement in women's basketball. Skill versus style, what sets Caitlin Clark apart? Caitlin Clark isn't just a flashy player, she's a basketball savant whose skills demand attention. What frustrates some critics is how she combines incredible talent with a style that's both captivating and unapologetically bold. Clark's deep threes, pinpoint passing, and clutch plays make her a legitimate game changer. Many WNBA veterans who pride themselves on fundamental toughness might feel skeptical about the hype she's receiving. But here's the truth. Clark's style isn't just for show, it reflects her deep understanding of modern basketball and the entertainment aspect of sports today. Her ability to break down defenses with both finesse and power challenges traditional ideas about how women's basketball should be played. Instead of playing it safe, she takes risks, sometimes drawing criticism for being too flashy or too loud. But isn't that what sports are all about? Innovation, excitement, and pushing the game forward? Black WNBA players, who have long dominated the sport with grit and resilience, might see Clark's approach as a challenge to their legacy. Yet that doesn't equate to hate. It's admiration, mixed with a protective instinct for what they've built. Caitlin Clark's rise signals that the game is evolving. Embracing that evolution ultimately benefits everyone involved in women's basketball by expanding the ways the sport can be played and appreciated. Media spotlight, the double-edged sword for Clark and WNBA players. Caitlin Clark lives in the media spotlight like no other college player, and this attention comes with both perks and pitfalls. The media loves Clark's story, the sharpshooting phenom from Iowa who's rewriting the record books, but this intense coverage also fuels resentment among some WNBA players, especially black athletes who have long struggled for equal recognition. It's not that they hate Clark personally, rather, the media system has historically favored narratives that marginalize black women's contributions to the sport. When Clark dominates headlines, some feel the WNBA and its players are unfairly overlooked, which stings given their years of dedication and excellence. However, Clark's spotlight also serves as a megaphone for women's basketball as a whole, lifting the game's profile and drawing more attention to every player's talents. Instead of viewing her success as a threat, WNBA stars could see it as an opportunity to demand more coverage and respect for all athletes. The media may play favourites, but Caitlin Clark's rise presents a chance to challenge those biases and prove that women's basketball is not monolithic. It's a diverse tapestry of incredible talent, deserving equal respect. Clark's stardom can help amplify that message and create a platform for all players to shine, pushing the sport forward together. Breaking stereotypes, Clark's impact on race and basketball culture. In a sport historically dominated by black women, Caitlin Clark's emergence is sparking an important conversation about race, representation, and basketball culture. Some black WNBA players might feel protective of their hard-earned space and wary of a young white player receiving so much attention, but Clark's impact goes beyond race. She's breaking stereotypes by proving that women from all backgrounds can be dominant, exciting, and media-savvy athletes. Rather than threatening anyone, Clark is expanding the cultural landscape of women's basketball. Her success challenges outdated ideas about who can be the face of the game and how that face should act. The frustration some players express isn't about hate, it reflects the sport wrestling with its evolving identity. Clark's ability to thrive with style, humour, and flair encourages all athletes to embrace their uniqueness rather than conform to rigid expectations. Ultimately, Clark's rise reminds us that basketball is bigger than race or background. It's about talent, hard work, and passion. The best path forward is celebrating the diversity of voices and styles, not dividing the community over misunderstandings or jealousy. Caitlin Clark is a trailblazer, opening doors for future generations and helping women's basketball grow into a more inclusive, dynamic sport that welcomes all kinds of greatness. The competitive edge, why respect runs deeper than hate. At its core, basketball is about competition, and Caitlin Clark embodies that competitive fire like few others. The idea that black WNBA players hate her oversimplifies a much more complex reality. Many top players deeply respect Clark's work ethic, court IQ, and relentless desire to win. When competition heats up, emotions naturally run high, and people sometimes mistake intense rivalry for hatred. But respect among elite athletes runs deep, especially when they recognize the skill and sacrifice it takes to reach the top. Clark's ability to handle pressure, hit clutch shots, and carry her team shows a maturity beyond her years. Some WNBA players might feel protective of their league's legacy, but they also understand that Clark's arrival signals fresh blood, new challenges, and higher standards, all of which push the sport forward. Instead of hate, what we're seeing is a natural tension that fuels greatness. Rivalry in sports has always been a catalyst for improvement, not division. Clark's presence inspires WNBA players to elevate their games and encourages fans to appreciate the incredible talent in women's basketball today. This dynamic rivalry benefits everyone involved by raising the level of competition and bringing more excitement to the sport. Ultimately, Caitlin Clark's rise isn't a threat. It's a challenge that motivates the entire women's basketball community to grow and excel together. Clark's role in bridging the college and pro game divide. One key to understanding Caitlin Clark's influence is how she bridges the gap between college basketball and the WNBA. Many black WNBA players come from diverse and professional backgrounds, often overcoming systemic barriers on their path to stardom. Clark's transition from college sensation to WNBA hopeful highlights both the differences and connections between these two worlds. Her ability to dominate at the collegiate level with undeniable flair excites younger fans and boosts the sport's popularity, which ultimately benefits the WNBA as well. Rather than viewing Clark as a threat, black WNBA players can see her as a bridge bringing more attention and resources to women's basketball overall. The increased interest generated by Clark's story can spark greater draft excitement, endorsement deals, and fan engagement across all leagues. This ripple effect creates new opportunities for every player, regardless of race or league status. The shared love of basketball and the mutual desire for growth unite athletes more than they divide them. Caitlin Clark's journey reminds us that progress in women's basketball depends on collaboration, respect, and celebrating every player's contribution to the game's future. By embracing one another's successes, the entire sport can continue to evolve and thrive. Embracing the future. Why Caitlin Clark is a win for everyone. At the end of the day, Caitlin Clark's rise isn't about sparking hate or division, it's about lifting the entire sport. Her infectious energy, revolutionary play style, and unapologetic confidence are reshaping women's basketball for the better. Instead of framing the narrative as black WNBA players hating Clark, it's more accurate to see this as the sport evolving and wrestling with new dynamics. Clark's success brings fresh attention to women's basketball, helping grow audiences, sponsorships, and opportunities for all players. The more diverse the spotlight becomes, the stronger the sport grows. Every athlete benefits when someone pushes the envelope and raises the level of competition. Clark inspires young girls across America, black, white, and all backgrounds, to chase their basketball dreams boldly and without apology. That kind of inspiration is priceless and should be celebrated, not criticized. Far from being a source of hate, Caitlin Clark's presence challenges the game to be bigger, better, and more inclusive. Her journey proves that greatness transcends race and unites the basketball community in pursuit of excellence. That's a win for everyone involved, showing that embracing new stars only strengthens the future of women's basketball. The truth is, Caitlin Clark's talent and confidence have disrupted the WNBA landscape, and that naturally stirs strong emotions. But instead of letting negativity define her, Clark keeps pushing forward, proving her worth through relentless hard work and undeniable results. She's inspiring a new generation of players and fans alike. In a league hungry for fresh stars, Clark's light shines brighter than ever. No matter the critics, one thing is clear: Caitlin Clark is here to stay, and her impact on women's basketball will be felt for years to come.